Well, hi everyone. I'm John Rethlin with a retro review of WCW Nitro from June 26, 2000. Yep, I'm going to keep reviewing WCW 2000 programs. You know why? Because I'm into deep and I'm trying to keep all the blood in my head instead of going under. And yep, this is the sum of all 41 parts that have gone into making these shows absolutely fucking atrocious. Because Nitro was fucking dead by this point. Thunder was so unnecessary. The pay-per-views were, just bottomed out. Nothing was any good. And even though the talents were trying to make efforts to make the product better, it just wasn't happening because the company was fucking dead. Now, that being said, this Nitro episode was a little bit more palatable. And that doesn't mean it was all that good. And it starts off with Ernest Miller talking to his limo driver about ideas. And then he goes to the ring, gets pyro. Ernest Miller getting pyro is a big reason why WCW went under. Because that was a waste of money. Ernest Miller was a goddamn waste of money. Why was Ernest Miller, besides his Bischoff Association, featured on WCW programming? He was fucking rotten. He was uncharismatic. He wasn't any good in the goddamn ring. I don't know if you can tell. I don't really like Ernest Miller in the ring very much. He talks endlessly, mentions the four-corner match a little bit later for the WCW title and says there's going to be qualifying matches. And, hey, I want to get big ratings. I want to do all this. So Jarrett's in the match automatically. He doesn't have to qualify because he's a champion. There's going to be 3 others. They eventually get to these matches like halfway through the goddamn show. Jim Duggan shows up, yelling, and also surviving cancer. Good for him. Honestly, good for him. Cancer's a fucking bitch. And Goldberg versus Duggan is made for later. Cool. Why? Just... to what end? Goldberg's heel turn already wasn't working no matter how hard he was trying. Bambino is then surrounded by smoke, so he's either in an N64 game, a PS1 game, or he just gave up and just decided to fucking, set fire to a whole bunch of weed and get high off of it. Which actually might explain this fucking storyline. The Demon then is called out. So he's got to meet him in the bowels of the arena. And then Canyon's book signing failed because this Positively Canyon thing wasn't working despite Canyon trying to make it work. Yeah, it was ridiculous. Jindrak and O'Hare versus Ray and Hoovy with the Filthy Animals. Well, the double vertical suplex by O'Hare and Jindrak got a freaking pop, and then a swanton by O'Hare pins Hoovy, and then the Animals attack. It's like opposites attract, only worse. Lance Storm runs in, and then Miller says, hey, Filthy Animals, go after Lance Storm. Go, do something. Fuck, I don't care. Disco Inferno. Why the fuck was Disco Inferno featured so much on TV? Why was he in the Filthy Animals? Why was he ever allowed in WCW at all? Why was he ever allowed in wrestling? That was fucking rotten. So, Duggan and his wife talking. His wife's sporting a hell of a mullet, by the way. Talking about the Goldberg match. She doesn't want him to do it. He's got to do it. He's got to be a man, all that stuff. Duggan, legit tough. I mean, anybody who survives cancer is legit tough. Anybody that battles through that stuff is legit tough, but this match shouldn't have happened. Vito then puts out an open challenge. So, first, Jamie's son, Jamie Noble, under a mask of the Young Dragons, interrupts and attacks. Then all the Young Dragons are in there. Jimmy Yang and Kazuyoshi. And then they count their own pins. So we're right back to that Thunder episode where everybody counted their own pins. Terry Funk, Johnny the Bull are doing training. Because this is still going for some reason. And then we have Sean Stasiak and Chuck Palumbo bothering the producer. So they're messing with stuff. Shane Douglas earlier was put in a match with Scott Steiner. He pretends to be hurt after talking to the limo driver. And then says, hey, how about you put Buff Bagwell against Scott Steiner for the U.S. title? Okay, cool. Or maybe not for the U.S. title. Really hard to tell, honestly, because they just changed their minds on shit. And then Miller says, yeah, I'll do that match. How about I do that match? Which he just said it. Why the fuck is he... Why was Ernest Miller here? Fuck. 3 counts in the ring. And production issues, interrupting their music. Tank Abbott is upset. Led to the production truck and pulls Chuck Palumbo out by his hair, almost like by his ear, like a mother trying to punish a child. Puts them in the ring and says, hey, 3 counts, you get a tag title shot. Tank Abbott making matches. Let the fans make matches. They couldn't have made him any worse. They really couldn't have made him any worse. And, yeah, the action was fine. Flexi bar, that whole flex bar thing that Palumbo was using in his feud with Luger. And he, that gets used. And then a double flapjack, 1, 2, 3. And then Chronic's here. And they lay out the champs. And then they try to attack 3 count. And then Tank Abbott stops them. So, yeah, there we go. Hoovy then is knocked out backstage. A video package of Duggan's battle with cancer. This actually was pretty cool. It was great to see that Duggan was able to come back from this and just live his life. Not just get back in the ring, but just live his life in general. It really is good. Goldberg versus Duggan, qualifying match. This was uncomfortable because Goldberg was not a very good heel. And Duggan was not very good in the ring by this point because he had wrestled for a number of years. And also, the match was a couple minutes. Spear, jackhammer, 1, 2, 3. Then kidney punch, and pause, stomach punch. Get that reference? I appreciate you. Then he's bleeding from the mouth. He gets stretchered out. And then Nash versus Awesome. Nash is upset because Duggan got taken out. So it's big lads smashing into each other. Could have phrased that a little bit better, I suppose. And then Chair to Mike Awesome pin, 1, 2, 3. There you go. Ray and Conan are laid out backstage. Ray had to have surgery 5 times in his left knee. Just throwing out random shit all over the place. Scott Steiner versus Buff Bagwell. Why was Buff Bagwell ever featured? Because except in tag team matches, he was never really all that good. So then a blockbuster for 2. The belly-to-belly, spinning belly-to-belly, 1, 2, 3. And Scott Steiner gets the victory. There we go. Shane then attacks, but then he gets chased off. So his foot's all better all of a sudden. Miss Hancock then talks about, David and talks about all the stuff that's going on. And doesn't really talk all that much before doing her dance. Daphne interrupts, and they have a cat fight. Hey, how about we have a match at Bash at the Beach? Miss Hancock then later says, how about it's a wedding gown match, aka an evening gown match? Because they're fighting over the affections of David Flair for some fucking unknown goddamn bullshit reason. I don't know if you can tell this, but I didn't really like David Flair being featured, and I don't think he wanted to be featured, and I like Daphne. Miss Hancock, hey, she was really good and really athletic and everything, and it just wasn't happening. This just wasn't going to be very good. Booker then attacks Canyon and puts him through a table at the book signing. The more I read this, I'm starting to actually not like this episode one bit at all. Though, again, it did pass by a little bit quicker. Disco Inferno here. Lance Storm had, his first ever official WCW match. Poor Lance having to carry this fucking bullshit, moronic, Kermit the Frog sounding wannabe here. And he gets a half crab for the win. Animals in attack. Again, Kidman comes out with the bar. Oh no, he doesn't set the bar. He hits people with the bar. And Kidman was actually the one that was taking people out backstage. Cool, okay, whatever. I don't fucking care. I don't care, do you? Torborg and Van Barrow battle in the boiler room, and it's bad. It's really, really bad. Why was there a casket there? And somebody suddenly lays out Vampiro when Torborg's in the casket and puts the Sting mask on him. It's Sting or somebody. I don't know who the fuck it is. It was Sting. It was obviously Sting. And then the Animals challenge, I guess, Lance Storm to a match on Thunder. I tend to tune a lot of stuff out here. Jeff Jarrett, Scott Steiner, Nash, Goldberg. So here's basically the deal. You had Nash take out Goldberg backstage. And then it's Steiner and Jarrett in the ring. And it was a Four Corners match for the WCW title. Goldberg shows up a little bit later, but he doesn't try to take anybody out. And then Awesome shows up, and Nash shows up, and then we get all this, freaking bullshit out, just going absolutely insane. Trash starts to fly in the ring after the finish, where it's a sidekick to go from Goldberg to Nash, the same sidekick that ended Bret Hart's career. And then Jarrett tops Nash 1, 2, 3. So there you go. That's pretty much your lot right there. A lot of trash gets thrown in the fucking ring. A lot of fucking trash. This was absolutely hilarious. So yeah, we are continuing on the road to Bash at the Beach 2000. Holy fuck, I am so glad I decided to do this. You know what? It could be worse. I'm glad to produce the content. You guys enjoy me ranting about this stuff. But boy, WCW 2000, I would not wish this on my worst enemy. Actually, I would, because you know what? Fuck anybody that wants to be my enemy. So anyway, that was it for that. These reviews are getting shorter and shorter. Agree, disagree with what I said? Like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.